Good morning, Dana, and welcome back to a new school year. Dana News is our student bulletin, which will be every Monday and Thursday.
You'll watch the show during advisory, but we'd also encourage you to subscribe at our channel at youtube.com/Dana News.
I'm Christina.
And I'm Gabby. Today is Monday, August 21st, 2023.
For all our new students, we know there's a lot to learn in the first few days. And with 2 days of school already behind, we hope that you're starting to find your way around. But if you do need help or if you have any questions about something, feel free to ask any web leader or member of staff. They will be happy to help you.
Our advisory houses are continuing this year too. This is where we bring different advisory classes together to form a house. Houses then compete against each other for spirit points and in other fun contests for a prize at the end of each semester.
If your advisory teacher is Mrs Shin, Miss Fono, Mr Lee, Mr Grable, Mrs Morales, or Mrs Martin-Spahr, then you're in the Bull's house.
If you're with Mr Seyler, Mr Barton, Miss Lewallen, Mrs Seyler, or Mrs Hamblen, then you're a Dolphin.
Mrs Elefson, Mr Johns, Mrs Smith, Mrs Suzuki, and Mrs Tedei are the advisors for Eagles.
Dr. Taylor, Mrs O'Brien, Mr Sierra, Mrs Sanchez, and Ms Hille are the Lions advisor.
Mrs Ibrahim, Mrs Hoffman, Mrs Aguilar, Mr Cortez, and Mr Kelly are the Rams advisors.
And lastly, Mr Dima, Miss Chandra, Mrs Talbott, and Mrs LaReau and Mrs Durousseau are the Wolves advisors.
We're looking forward to a lot of fun, games, and activities this semester. Now here's Mr. Smith with a couple of reminders about where you can and can't be during break and lunch.
Good morning, Dana Mariners. Here I am outside of our music building, and I wanted to point out that we have some new lunch tables here for students to eat lunch at. So this area is going to be a wonderful location. And I also wanted you to know that there's no food or drinks allowed outside on the large field of the track. So make sure that you finish your food here before you go out there and play football or soccer or whatever sport you choose to play. But again, these tables can be utilized for you to eat lunch during the school day. And we'll have some trash cans out here, so we want to make sure that all of your trash is put away before you leave this area. So again, all right, Dana Mariners, here I am in this hallway. I just wanted to reference that during lunchtime, you are allowed to eat only here in this hallway. You can eat your lunch right where I'm standing. You cannot take it beyond this hallway into the blacktop area. This hallway behind me, though, is off limits. During lunchtime, there's no supervision here, so you're not allowed to eat your lunch and hang out here during that time. The next hallway down, where room 26 is through 21, that hallway is also off limits during lunchtime. And all the way down at the end of this hall, rooms 4 through 8, that hallway is also off limits during lunchtime. But again, we want to remind you that this hall, all the way up and down this hall, you are allowed to sit on the sides and eat your lunch here. We just do ask you that when you're done, all your trash is in the trash cans. Again, thank you for keeping our campus clean. We're excited for the school year to begin.
For anyone interested in joining Science Olympiad, there's a parent and student meeting on Friday, August 25th in the Dana NPR. It's from 6:30 to 8 p.m. and the registration is on Saturday, August 26th from 1 to 4 p.m., also in the Dana NPR.
For all of our 6th graders, OSS is just around the corner. OSS is the 6th grade outdoor science camp at Lake Arrowhead, and we'd love to see all of you there. The camp is from November 13th to November 17th, and you'll be enjoying lots of outdoor activities, hikes, games, arts and crafts, and lots of great food. Early bird registration is open now and is $400. Regular registration is in September, and that's $420. And late registration is in October at $440. Reserve your place for this amazing trip by giving your payments to Mrs. Tan in the Dana office. Payments can be cash or check payable to Dana Middle School. This really is a great trip, so don't miss out.
The Dana drill team competes alongside our band and auxiliary teams. Auditions will be held in the quad on Friday, August 25th from 7 a.m. and on Saturday, August 26th from 9 to 12 a.m. Be sure to wear comfortable clothes and shoes that you can walk and move around in. This is open to boys and girls in all grades and no experience is necessary. We hope to see you there.
Mrs. Spahr and Mrs. Durousseau will be holding an informational meeting in room 30 for all 6th graders interested in running for ASB or are interested in joining the Spirit Advisory. The 2 ASB offices available for 6th graders are 6th grade Vice President and 6th grade School Site Council Representative. Mrs. Spahr and Mrs. Durousseau are also in need of a historian for ASB. This position must be filled by a 7th or 8th grade student, so if you are in 7th or 8th grade and would like to run for historian, please attend this meeting too. The meeting will be held on Friday, August 25th in room 30 during advisory. Don't forget to check with your advisory teacher first before going to the meeting.
And for 8th graders, your camp to Pali Mountain is just around the corner too. 8th grade will be at Pali from November 6th to November 9th. And you'll be doing lots of games, hiking, high ropes, team building, zip line, and challenging yourself to try new things. It's also a great time to hang out with your friends. This trip is $510 and all payments are due by September 16th. This can be cash or check payable to Dana Middle School and given to Mrs. Tan in the Dana office. If you have any questions about the trip, please ask your science teacher.
If you're an athlete and would like to represent Dana, consider joining one of our 210 league sports teams. In the first quarter, we have girls volleyball, football, and cross country. Second quarter, there's basketball. Third quarter, there's soccer, and we end the school year with boys volleyball and softball.
Are you a runner or do you want to be? Then join the Dana cross country team. There's a mandatory informational meeting on Thursday, August 24th at lunch in room 2. Please contact Mr. Lee in room 20 or Miss Seyler in room 21 with any questions.
Volleyball is off to an early start, so for all girls interested in playing volleyball for Dana, there's an information meeting at lunch today in room 26. There's also some important paperwork to collect, so be sure you don't miss this meeting. Tryouts are after school tomorrow from 3 to 5:30 p.m. in the gym, and a second tryout is on Wednesday from 2 to 4 p.m. Practice starts on Tuesday, August 29th. So once again, for all girls in grades 6 to 8 who are interested in trying out for the volleyball team, please attend the information meeting at lunch today in room 26.
Happy birthday to Tiffany Fu and Austin Pham.
Happy birthday tomorrow to Caitlin Tran and on Wednesday to Jaden Hua.
That's all the announcements we have for today.
Have a great day.
Bye.